hell yeah, because we got StrokeBot 9000 with us now.
Is that I feel like that's a website. StrokeBot 9000.
That can mean so many different things.
Right? All right. It looks like my recovery drive for my Xbox is done, so that's nice to know.
I was just using my overpriced black market PS5 to watch the '89 Batman on 4K. So
Nice.
Well, dude, I'm starting to question choosing the Xbox over the PS5.
Dude, I think it's one of those things where it's kind of a crapshoot, right? I mean, you're talking about, hardware upon hardware that's been, I don't know, I can't say rushed out, but like you're getting, like, especially like last year, the limited quantities that was coming out, people were buying them all up.
Whatever chips were available.
Exactly. So I mean, you're kind of rolling the dice. I don't care what you buy, whether it's PS5 or an Xbox.
Is that why my Xbox smells like Cool Ranch Doritos? Because those were the chips they used in it?
That's possible. That's very possible.
Makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, you kind of go back and look through the years of the other issues with different systems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Red Ring or the PS, was it the PS3 yellow lights? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hadn't heard much failure rate with the current slate of systems, but apparently I won the lottery. Yay.
Well, I mean, it's kind of relatively new still. So I mean, because the Red Ring stuff, I mean, I don't remember that happening like month or two after launch, unless I admit not remembering correctly.
True. But this will be year 3 in November.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I keep thinking that, it took me a year to get one.
Yeah. So this will be year 3. And like I said, the only thing I can figure is maybe installing RetroArch or RetroArch, however you say it, did something to it. My joke is that, I for the first year since, what was the year that I think it was like the first year that Madden was on the Xbox One and PS4. That was the last time I bought a Madden game. And I bought Madden this year, and Peyton whooped my ass 45-12, and then proceeded to whoop my ass 13-2 in Rocket League. And I think my Xbox was just like, you know what? You don't deserve to play anymore. You're done. You're too old.
You lost your cred.
Yeah, go back to your Switch, Nintendo boy.
So, gentlemen, what do you want to discuss here? I know we really didn't have, like we planned out so well.
Yeah, I mean, we are the most professional podcast in America for a reason. We didn't just get that name because we just gave it to ourselves.
No. It's I think it's been in the New York Times and the Washington Post. May not have been about us, but we think
right. I think Richie's up for World's Sexiest Man this year.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna get some VMAs or whatever for podcasting. I'm pretty sure that's a thing now.
And I think we actually
they're called something else, aren't they?
I think we're up for like 3 Oscars for Richie's podcast performance, his solo with the action figures.
Yeah, Screen Guild already emailed me. I mean, it was almost instantaneous the minute it went public. Yeah,
it's going to be a major motion picture coming to screens near you.
And yet, Man Groomer still doesn't sponsor us.
Manscaped.
That's why they're not sponsoring us, because if we get their name right. Yeah.
Ballscape. Yes. That's their competitor.
Is that the one that we're inventing?
Yeah, that's the one we invented. When manscaping just won't cut it, you got to just do some ballscaping. That was terrible.
Wow. Yeah, that's exactly the reason why no companies will give us ad reads.
Yep.
Yeah, because you get shit like that. Here, give us your best marketing pitch. Balls are funny.
Buy this product.
Buy this product so my children can eat.
It'd be a 30-second ad read, 3 seconds of like stumbling around, and 27 seconds of just completely dead silence. That's
Like,
pretty much how our ad reads would go.
Words. You should buy this. And then Mike Judge sues us.
Yeah.
You know, I tried that Manscaped last night. It really sucked. But you should buy it anyway.
I'm telling you right now, I genuinely enjoy my Manscaped products.
Are my balls supposed to be this color? I don't think so. There's blood everywhere.
Well, you weren't supposed to cut the acorn. It's for the area.
It was supposed to protect it.
It's for the area around the acorn.
Oh, you just don't keep going?
Yeah, you're not supposed to hit the twig and
take it all the way down. Manscaped.com.
Then it's womanscaped.com.
See, there you go. The product sells itself.
Exactly.
Do
you have an undersized dick or an extraordinarily large clit? Try Manscaped for women.
Oh man,
I can see that joke actually being in Clerks 3.
Yeah,
it might be. It might be
Justin Long.
I like Justin Long. Fuck you.
So is that not another one of your favorites there, Rich?
No, hate them all.
I'm telling. Listen,
Harley Quinn Smith's doing a signing at one of the comic book conventions this year.
I'm telling her when you go, and I know you know that inside information because you're sleeping with her, but I'm telling her next time I see her, I'll be like, yo, she's just talking mad shit. You gotta get your man in line. Crack that whip.
Are you gonna go see her?
No. I think it's not.
He sees her. Sees her every day. He doesn't need to go to a comic.
Yeah, but it's more. But I mean, it's better to show your love publicly exactly in front of. I'm not sure how many fans she would have. 3, 4.
Man, I mean, he's got that special love that he shows her when they're alone, and he bends over and lets her fuck him up the ass.
Wow, that's
Dude, we are just this is award-winning content right here.
It really is. So what are we really getting into here instead of trying to do a 5-minute ad read for something that we don't sell?
I watched Prey yesterday.
How was Prey?
It was good.
What was okay, so I've heard of it, but what's the give me the kind of the because I need to get you up to speed here.
Predator. But it takes place in the 1700s with Native Americans.
Oh, okay, cool. Who's in it? Anyone of name or
Native Americans? No, she's an actual real. Am I supposed to call her Native American or Indigenous people? It's a real Native American actress.
Depends. Is it in Canada or because if it's Canada, she won't be Native American.
That's North America.
Yeah, but
America.
Still America.
They prefer to be Indigenous.
But it's cool. It's like she's a woman. She wants to be a hunter, but she's a woman, so nobody believes she can actually hunt, and she winds up taking out a predator.
Nice.
Spoilers.
I'd like to see if they would throw some xenomorphs in there. That's what I want to see. I want to see Alien versus Predator
there
versus
hasn't been
Native
a good
American.
Aliens movie since Aliens.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of them. So
really,
the first two are good. First two are fantastic, actually. But then just stop. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't see any. Don't see Prometheus. Don't see any of the alien related stuff. Just Alien and Aliens.
Yeah, I've never.
Totally different movies too. Aliens is straight up Alien. The first one, straight up horror movie, very suspenseful. You barely see the alien stuff like that. The second one is an action horror movie with Bill Paxton in a great role because he's Bill Paxton, and Michael Biehn because he's Michael Biehn, and it's just awesome. Colonial Marines.
Yeah, you're right. They are two completely different movies, but they're both really good in their own right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, anything beyond that, like I don't even know that I've even seen any of the. Like I'm trying to think. What was the last one? I watched 3.
And then they did the PG-rated Alien versus Predator movies. So
I didn't.
They're going to be good.
Yeah.
How are they going to be PG?
Paintball, no.
Like seriously though, that screams like R-rated franchise, and if you do it right,
you'd have to be almost stupid to make it PG. It's like you wanted to fail. Yep.
Well, I think that they're definitely more than almost stupid. I think that they're most definitely stupid.
And then the Predator movies. Again, the first one was good. The second one, Bill Paxton again, and Gary Busey. And I'm too old for this shit. I can't think of the guy's name.
Denzel Washington. Or no, Danny Glover.
Yeah, thank you. And that was great. So the first one's in the jungle. Second one's in an urban, I'm guessing it's Los Angeles, but it could be wrong. It might be San Francisco, somewhere in California. And then I don't know which one came after that, but they did one with Lawrence Fishburne. I think that was Predators. And they're just okay. I mean, they're not as bad as the Alien movies after that, but they're still not great. But this was good.
Speaking of one Mr. Gary Busey, he was just arrested in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Yeah, he did a big no-no, didn't he?
I was going to go to that too, and I didn't. And if I known that Gary Busey would have grabbed my junk, I would have went.
Man, you could have made us famous off of his being bad.
You could have. Thanks for fucking us, Rich. Not in a good way.
Hey, could have negotiated, been like, hey, kind of promote the pod, and I won't talk about this.
Right.
I could have got my Under Siege DVD signed.
So 4 counts.
Yes. So what exactly? Yeah. What
it doesn't. I don't think they released what he did yet, or maybe they did later. The first one didn't have it, but I'm sure it's like an Uncle Vito. Is that guy's name? The fat guy from
Don Vito.
That's it, Don Vito. No, the same thing. Yeah.
No. Don Vito was a piece of shit.
I thought he groped women at signings and stuff, like appearances.
He groped women and but a little bit more than groping too. There was penetration through clothing.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. You got to get deep in there to get penetration through clothing.
Yeah. He was a shitbag. And I used to like him. Like, I met him. And I was like, oh, hey, it's Don Vito. And then I found that shit out. And I was like, oh, wow, gross.
Is it because he didn't penetrate you through your clothing?
Yeah, I felt left out. It made me feel bad about myself.
Didn't they try to get your Cuba Gooding Jr. got arrested for that too, didn't he? Or something similar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did he really?
Yeah.
So here's what Busey's got. Now facing multiple charges stemming from incidents that reportedly occurred earlier this month at Monster Mania in Cherry Hill at the Doubletree. Among the charges,
Cherry Hill, represent. He used to live right there.
Among the charges Busey is now looking at are 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct or contact in the 4th degree.
And 1 attempted contact, I think.
So would that be touching, or what would that right? Or
that's what I think it is, but they didn't.
Aside from the previously mentioned 2 counts of criminal sexual contact, he's also been hit with a count of criminal attempt, criminal sexual content in the 4th degree, as well as a disorderly conduct count of harassment.
No, not disorderly conduct.
He's actually insane though. Like, he could use the insanity thing and it'd be like, yep.
Yeah,
that's what I want to know. Like, this is one of the few times that I'd be like, what were the promoters actually thinking?
Right.
Like, he's not the first person I would invite.
Well, my thing is this. Honestly, if we're gonna, we're coming out of the period where everybody's like coming out from behind plexiglass and shit. Maybe he's somebody that should have been left in. Maybe Gary Busey meet and greets. There should be some kind of barrier between him and the people he's meeting.
Or just a handler. They probably should have had a handler on site. Like, this guy's a little. To be fair, he did have that motorcycle accident and he's missing part of his brain or whatever. But
Yeah.
Just put people around him, like a buffer.
Right.
Family's got a lot of buffers. Gary
Right.
Busey needs a buffer.
Yeah, it's I don't know, something that doesn't sit right with me on. I don't
His
know.
kid
I'm not.
is-
I guess he was norm. It was normal for him to do appearances like that.
and lately he has been. Like I said, his or about to say his kid used to do them all the time, and I never like I was at conventions with him, but never waited in line to see him. But I think this is one of the first ones Gary Busey was at.
Yeah, Jake Busey.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right, Jake. Yeah,
Oh,
but now
well,
Richie mentioned that Gary's famous for Under Siege and
Starship Troopers. After the son, anyway.
yeah, Starship Trooper for Jake. Yeah,
And Point Break, Alien, Predator 2, Gary Busey.
yep, Predator 2.
I think the last, well, not the last one, but he did a horrible full. It was probably a full moon picture. The same people that do the Puppet Master movies did one called, or somebody did it. It was Ginger Dead Man, and Gary Busey was an animated gingerbread man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I saw something about that. I never saw the movie, but I did.
I saw the movie. It wasn't. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as Evil Bong with Tommy Chong, but it was bad.
I think the thing that Gary Busey has done lately that I have enjoyed was that commercial where he's like talking. Yeah, I talked to my pants and stuff like that, and he was like talking to like everything. Hello, lamp.
Oh
like,
yeah,
remember? It was like I think it might have been a Super Bowl commercial.
yeah, that's right. Well, I think it was.
He goes, "Oh my! In my off time, I like to yell at geese." Ah.
Apparently not. I'm just trusting my first Google search here.
That's what you should always trust.
I know, but he was in the classics Universal Soldier 2 and Slapshot 2.
Makes sense. I've never seen Slapshot 2, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I forgot he was in Black Sheep. I forgot about that one.
Slapshot was the one with
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman.
I was about to make a joke and it just left. That's okay. I wrecked it. Too tired. Like I have no alcohol, but I'm just totally exhausted.
Slapshot, not to be confused with Slapjack, which is a completely different thing.
The Hanson brothers.
Yes, the Hanson brothers. Not to be confused with the band, the Hanson brothers.
Umbop.
No, not those ones. That's just Hanson. There's actually a band called the Hanson Brothers that dresses up like the Hanson brothers from Slapshot and plays hockey-related music.
There's also a band that dresses up like Ned Flanders, and I think they do.
Yeah, Oakley Dokley.
Yeah,
and they play Flanders metal.
That's it.
Just like what was the other one that
Stupid Sexy Flanders?
That's what I think. That's actually one of their songs.
Probably, yeah.
The Stupid Sexy Flanders.
Well, I gotta look this up now because this is all new to me.
Oh, the videos are awesome. Yeah.
I don't know how I've not heard of this. No.
Okilly Dokily is
no.
It's like.
There's also a band called Shonen Knife. That's a Japanese idol band that does. They do metal, but they did a whole Ramones album too. Which is awesome.
I like
Soccer Ramones.
What's shit? I just lost it.
Yeah, they play Nedal music. Nedal. Huh.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh fuck! What is that other band? Well,
Guar.
one of them I like is Baby Metal. Speaking of idol kind of music.
Yeah.
Fuck, what is that other? It keeps floating in and out of my head before I can say it.
I just found out that MC Chris was white. I always thought he was black for some reason.
You didn't know that?
Nah.
He's like a little tiny, skinny white dude.
Yeah.
Not the one I was thinking of, but have you heard of the Axis of Awesome?
No, I haven't. Wow.
They do a song.
I don't know where I've been, apparently.
They do a song. It's called. Oh, fuck. I can't remember either. I think it's like Songs in the. I don't fucking know. I can't think tonight, apparently. But they do a song where it's like 40 different songs that it's all the same.
Oh, all popular songs are the same 4 chords?
Yeah. Oh, that's what it's a 4-chord song.
They're like an Australian comedy.
Yeah.
One of the guy looks like a super ghetto Jack Black.
Yes.
Like they should put him together with that guy that looks like Matt Damon but isn't Matt Damon, that Fat Damon guy from well, just Google Fat Damon, but he was in Breaking Bad.
Okay.
He was also in Battleship.
Oh, I've never seen Battleship.
Oh, Battleship is an awesomely horrible movie. It's so entertaining, but it's horrible.
I don't know.
Oh, I've never seen that either. Yeah,
Aliens,
but I've heard the same thing.
It's one of the good bad movies.
Oh, so it would make for a good mystery science theater type movie.
Yeah. Fat Damon. Yeah, because he looks like a slightly puffy Matt Damon. Very good actor, though. Surprisingly.
Holy crap, he does.
There was that band that did those Nintendo covers as metal, too. That apparently they had several albums.
Ninja Sex Party?
I'm sorry?
Ninja Sex Party?
No, it was that other one I sent you guys, and I can't think of what it was.
Yeah, you did send that. Yeah,
it was awesome.
I like the mini boss.
It was surprised.
The mini bosses, Power Glove. Power Glove does good stuff. They do cartoons and stuff too. They did Heffalumps and Woozles. They did the X-Men animated series, Batman '89. Like they do it all without lyrics.
There's also a band called Uberkunst that does C is for Cookies. Is really good. Uberkunst.
Nice. Something about that one just doesn't sound right.
As metal.
Yeah, some of the video game stuff, I've been just the general soundtracks I've been a fan of for a long time. So I still get some of the random people that remix it or redo it or whatever.
This was Vomitron.
Oh, that Cybertronic Spree. That's who I was trying to think of earlier. Have you guys heard of them?
Mm-mm.
They dress up in like cardboard Transformer costumes.
I have heard of them. I think they played one of the comic book video game conventions.
I think they actually played at Gathering of the Juggalos this year.
Does that come through if I share it like that?
It does.
Not very well.
It's low, but it does. There you go. That's better.
I'm like moving it along now.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
They have like 9 different albums. Yeah, it's all instrumental, but it's all metal.
Yeah, Mega Man 2, for my money, is probably the best music on the NES.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's
I like it.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's so clear that you can obviously tell what it is, but it's got its own spin on it. That's pretty good.
It was very good background music last week.
By the way, that video view was really good.
The one we just posted.
Yes. I definitely put it on my TV and played it for everyone that was at my house at the time. So slowly you're becoming internet famous, Rich.
Right. Did you chug up a little while you were watching it?
No, well, my sister was sitting next to me, so no. She did say, Jesus, you all have those fucking beards. No wonder you don't have anybody listening. They think you're all pedophiles.
They don't see us.
Exactly. Well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the very like little bit of video footage we actually have.
Right. So first of all, nobody sees this. Second of all, you're an asshole. Third of all, we can't talk about Richie like that because there's a case pending.
I live right behind a school, man. If that case goes wrong, I'm out of here. I have to sell the van.
Oh man. All those refurbishments you did to the van too.
Have put windows in it.
Got those
free candy with painted on the side of it.
the acoustic panels to make it soundproof. Shit.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
That's terrible. We're fucking horrible people. You realize that, right?
I watched She-Hulk too. She-Hulk was pretty good.
Oh, dude, She-Hulk was awesome. Did you stay for the after the credits scene?
Yes.
I fucking cracked up.
Yep.
So, Tom, have you watched it?
No.
Do you think you have any intention of watching it?
Probably not.
All right, well, we're going to go into some spoilers here. So, earlier in the episode, Jennifer Walters, Bruce Banner's cousin, is trying to get out of him whether or not she has this theory about Captain America that he died a virgin because he was, a little skinny, scrawny kid, and then he went into World War II, and then he was frozen in ice, and then he came back and immediately was thrust into the whole, shit that was going on, and then Infinity War and all that. So she figured he never had time to fuck. Well, they don't exactly spell it out, and then like the next scene, does away with the conversation. So then they're at after the credits, they're sitting at the bar, the two of them, and she's like all drunk. She's like, man, but his ass was so nice. That was America's ass. I can't believe it was wasted. And Bruce turns to her and goes, all right, look, he didn't die a virgin. There was a girl on a USO tour in 1943. And she sobers up instantly because she was just playing it, being drunk. And she goes, yes, I knew it. Captain America, fuck. And then it cuts out.
Oh, cool.
So
now, okay, I have to ask because I probably really won't watch it just because of all the content out, and I can't keep up with it. Who plays Bruce in this?
It's still what's his name? Ruffalo.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure because I didn't know at this point. Like, I know they've been transitioning some actors in and out, so I didn't know if he was one that I really. That's how little I paid attention. To be honest with you.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo is in it, and Charlie Cox, who played Daredevil on the Netflix Daredevil series, and who was in Spider-Man No Way Home, or that was the last one, right? No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to be in this.
Okay.
So, and from this, he's going to spawn off into his own series, Daredevil Reborn.
Oh, that's cool.
Which brings back, what's his name is Kingpin?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Private Pile.
Yeah. Dude, how crazy is it that his goofy ass ends up like being the Kingpin? Like when I saw him play, when I saw Vincent D'Onofrio play that part, never in my mind did I think, oh, he could be an intimidating fucker.
He was also Edgar, or the bug in an Edgar suit in yes.
Wearing an Edgar suit.
Yeah, Man in Black. Yeah.
Wearing an Edgar suit.
Yeah,
and he was the bad guy in Jurassic World, the first one of those ones with Chris Pratt.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the evil, money hungry. Who's was it?
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Like
I saw seen Dominion.
It was his fault that the white T-Rex Velociraptor. God, they were horrible movies.
The Indominus Rex.
Yeah, that thing. It was his fault that thing escaped.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I stopped after I think.
I've seen all of them except for Dominion, and I honestly can't remember the plot of anyone except for the first one a little bit.
Like, I don't get me wrong. I actually liked the movies. I just
Bryce Dallas Howard running in her high heels away from dinosaurs.
listen. Don't you talk bad about Bryce Dallas Howard. I will gut
You
you
know,
like a bitch.
she's a case of nepotism where she actually has talent as opposed to Kevin Smith's daughter.
Ooh.
Of course, Ron Howard's got much more talent than Kevin Smith too. So
Well, yeah.
I guess the
You're not
apple
wrong.
doesn't fall far from the tree in either respect.
Yeah. But that being said, I was never attracted to Ron Howard, but I would do horrible things.
Kind of hot.
I would do horrible
His
things.
brother's awesome. His brother's Clint Howard.
Yes.
Oh, his brother's awesome. But
Yeah, I was a
not
fan
attracted
of
to
his
him either.
fan of his brother. His brother actually worked out perfectly in cast in because he was in The Grinch.
Rock and Roll High School.
Looked just like a Who. So
He does look like a Who.
He was the little alien kid in Star Trek where they're drinking the Trana.
I've never. Okay, so here's my deep dirty secret. So I've never seen any of the original Star Trek movies or the Next Generation movies.
It was not the movie; it was in the original series.
Yeah.
I've never seen the original series either.
Really?
I've seen bits and pieces, but no, I was the Next Generation guy. I never really watched much, if any, of the original series.
So I probably watched every original series, every Next Generation, because my parents were big into that. And then I've watched all the movies up until what was the one about 10, 15 years ago? The one with Chris Pine, the first one that came out, and that was where I think that's where I stopped. I haven't watched anything beyond that.
Found out that he was somebody's son.
Chris Pine? Yeah, well, typically, everybody.
Like a famous guy. They were talking about it on something else.
I don't know. Let's see. What's the Google tell us?
Maybe it wasn't Chris Pine.
His father is Robert Pine.
Chips. He was the guy on Chips, not Ponch, because he's Mexican. But
Eric Estrada, not
Eric Estrada.
Not Eric Estrada.
And not Ponch, but the other dude, the white guy. He's the white guy's son.
So really? You know what's crazy? Robert Pine is 81 now.
I think that's why they were saying. I think somebody just had a birthday or something. But yeah.
Huh. Well, that's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's got a website.
It's a learning podcast. We're learning that Manscaped sucks. Unless they pay us, then they're going to be awesome.
No, Manscaped doesn't suck. Manscaped is good.
They don't pay us yet. When they pay us, they're
good.
They
don't pay us yet, but they'll be even better. They're good now. They'll be even better when they pay us.
There's robertpine.com is available. It's not available. It's his website.
Oh, well.
Wonder if we can contact him for a podcast.
Well, that pushed Richie over the edge. He just dropped out of the.
There
he is.
I have one of those magic mouse things up here and actually swipe left.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I'm out. You're talking bad on Robert Pine. I'm out.
Yeah. So it's just like, every dating profile I've ever made, you're just swiping left.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, you guys were talking about the different, Marvel stuff with She-Hulk and whatnot. We finally decided that we're going to dig into Stranger Things, which we haven't yet. So,
dude, well, you know my deal, right?
The first 4 seasons of that in like a weekend. If you didn't watch it, it's good.
That's kind of what we're thinking is going to happen. So
you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I blew through that series. Like, I put off watching it until this series, and then all the shit with Eddie Munson and Master of Puppets. I was like, all right, it's time to give this show a watch. And then I like the Hellfire Club shirts. So
yeah, the same deal. I blew it off the first thing, and then it's like, well, all these kind of, I guess the cool things kind of just keep kind of snowballing. So I think we're going to dive in and give it a whirl. So I don't know. It's funny. We don't really watch a whole lot, so it's tough to dig into anything anymore.
I'd also recommend, if you have HBO, that Harley Quinn series.
Yes,
that's really good.
Which definitely not with the kids. so you're limited.
Yeah,
to
that's
no,
fine
and
for kids.
I totally thought you were about to say something else, and I was like, but I thought you hated her.
No,
And
dude, that
Patrol
show
Walker
is
was good.
fucking phenomenal.
Cool.
That and on Hulu is What We Do in the Shadows, that's made by Taika Waititi, who directed Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder,
Mhm.
as well as
Who also played a really good part in that Buzz Lightyear movie, or Lightyear, whatever else.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. I really do.
I really liked it, and my nephews really like it, but I don't think my nephews understand. Like, as I was watching it, I'm like, this isn't for kids. It's deeper than I thought it would be. There's like time travel and like parallel universes, but there's also a talking cat robot, so it's kind of
so that's what draws kids and me in.
One of the shows that came through my feed that I was really excited about, because Bob knows this, I was huge in the Dark Side of the Ring. I was on Vice, and they canceled it. But they're bringing the guys that created that show are creating another wrestling related show called Tales from the Territories, and it's with The Rock's production company.
Oh, nice.
So kind of curious to see how that pans out, to see if because I think they got in quite a bit of trouble for some of the way they did some of the cuts on the original series, particularly with the Plane Ride from Hell episode. I think that's what ended up canceling that whole series. But so I'm excited. That starts in October. Really looking forward to that, because Richie, have you seen any of those at all? That's totally worth it, man. They're so good. They're really, really well done documentaries, and they get into like some really pretty dark and deep real lit like life stuff. Makes you think differently about certain people, that's for sure. But they're done really, really well, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Did see a couple of episodes, because for some reason, was it YouTube or one of the things just shoved it in my face. I don't remember if it was YouTube or Facebook, but it was the A&E series where they go looking for merch, like the Undertaker's jacket, or the really good one. I thought it was entertaining because I like
I thought they were good too.
The Iron Sheik's Persian wherever the
Persian
hell
clubs.
they were. Yeah, that Bob Backlund had, so they had to go find Bob
Backlund,
who's apparently
that whole show is actually it's interesting, because they go through and they find some of the super fans that have some of the like really cool memorabilia. But I like the fact that they basically get the wrestlers or other people involved to go look for it.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool, you know. Like I thought it was really cool. Like I think it was the last episode they did of that. They were looking for Andre the Giant stuff. So like they find a mask from Japan. They find one of his passports, which was like crazy long because he traveled everywhere.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was pretty neat stuff. But I don't know. Anything on your radar, guys, that you're really looking forward to that's coming out TV or?
I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but the more I find out about the Black Adam movie, the more I want to see. Black Adam. Yeah, because it looks like they're doing a whole Justice Society thing inside of it.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan's playing
Dr. Fate. See Dr. Fate?
Yeah, Dr. Fate. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I wanted to say Mr. Miracle, but it's not Mr. Miracle. It's Dr. Fate.
They did the same. Like they brought blah, 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 blah. Stargirl. They brought the Justice Society in there, but that's more of the Justice Society's dead. We're going to bring in the children and like people to inherit their powers. But this is like the original Justice Society. This is like some really semi-obscure superheroes, which could be cool.
Yeah, Hawkman's supposed to be in it. Hourman is supposed to be in it.
Dr. Midnight.
Yeah, Dr. Midnight.
I'm just coming through the cast right now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's looking really good.
Brosnan. Who was not the last guy? Who played? He was in Mamma Mia, and he was in. It was Pierce Brosnan, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's him.
Did he play Niels Calder in Doom Patrol, or was that the other James Bond?
Oh yeah, was that Timothy Dalton?
That was Timothy Dalton, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That was Timothy Dalton. Because I got that mixed up too. I'm like, oh yeah, Pierce Brosnan's in it.
James Bond's everywhere. They're all old. They're old British guys. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
But we all know Timothy was the best Bond ever. Let's just not fight. We'll just all agree.
No, it was the Australian guy that played him once. It was actually really good. George Lazenby. He didn't get a chance.
Again, this is one where I might get kicked off the pod. I was never a Bond fan until Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig was who I started watching.
Yeah, that was another one I got a healthy dose because of my parents. So
Yeah.
every Roger Moore and Sean and
we had them all on VHS tape.
Yep. So one of those. I will say this: I've never legitimately said, "Oh, like I just love Sean Connery, I love Roger Moore, I love Pierce, whatever." Never had a favorite in that role, mainly because I always thought like you could be somebody and kind of paint. It's like painting a portrait. You have a nice painting, but you can always put your own style to it. They're just enjoyable because they're action movies. I mean, that's what the enjoyment I got out of it.
I think where a lot of people tend to have their favorites is because the movies got sillier as they went on. Like you have the Sean Connery was first, and they were all. I read the books too. Now every one of the James Bond books was the Russians are somehow going after nuclear weapons. Like every one of the things had nuclear things. So the books
right, because it was all during the Cold War. I mean,
but the movies were like they started out kind of like the books with Sean Connery. And Sean Connery, that was a very sexy everyman kind of thing. And then you had Roger Moore right after Sean Connery. He was a little older, a little dumpier looking, but still, I guess, attractive. But the movies got silly. Like he was the James Bond in Moonraker, where they go to the moon and you have Jaws with the metal mouth and shit. And Dr. Holly Goodhead was in that one.
Yeah, Bob, you would recognize Jaws from James Bond. He's in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
No, I recognize. That's the thing. Like, I recognize the character.
I saw him at a convention too. Like the year before he died, he was in one of them wheelchair power chair things because
that sucks.
He was a giant, and giants don't apparently do.
They should have left. They should have left a nail in his head.
Yeah. And anyway, when Daniel Craig came into it, they turned into like they made them super, almost like those Batman movies that what's his North did, not North. He says where like he could be a secret agent. The Daniel Craig is like based in reality, kind of. You believe he's a government contracted murderer.
Yeah, it almost becomes like the superhero born type stuff. It's kind of a fine line there almost, but still definitely very enjoyable. Just for their own right, though. I mean, they're all different movies, but yeah, you're right. They get really silly there with the obviously going to the moon and whatnot. But
and Live and Let Die, where they're voodoo.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Definitely worth checking out though on some of them. Just for a good watch. They're all pretty good, but I like to give Timothy Dalton a hard time.
And of course, Timothy Dalton had Jesus Christ, Christopher Walken as his villain.
Yes,
really.
Yep. And
he got a free pass.
Donna's mom from the '70s show was the Bond girl in that one too. I think. I can't think of the actress's name.
Oh, what the fuck was her name?
Tanya Roberts.
There you go.
Yeah, that was yes, yeah, that's her name. Pretty good.
Still hot, or at least she was on that '70s show. Don't know if she still is.
Well, I just watched RoboCop over again too in 4K and read Bitches Leave. It's just great. It's a great movie.
You can say was. I forgot. Yeah, she died last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then I guess I'm not gonna try and knock the cobwebs out of those rafters, because that's
that borderline. That's a federal offense, isn't it? Something like that.
I don't feel like spending time in jail for abuse of a corpse because I feel like then I'm gonna be feeding on.
You always spend time in jail if you get caught.
Listen, man, it's Florida. They're on the lookout for that shit down here. People digging up bodies for trying to get the meth that they were buried with.
Mm,
You know.
yeah, I actually, that's probably not too far from the truth.
I mean, honestly, they could probably render the bodies down even with the embalming fluid in it and still get all the meth out and get the added bonus of the high from the formaldehyde and the embalming stuff.
And I didn't watch yet. Not to change the subject, but there's the Game of Thrones spinoff started today.
Oh fuck! Did it?
Oh, House of Dragon.
House of Dragons, which I don't know if it has any of the original. Well, I guess it's a prequel, so I guess it's not the original people. But anyway, and then there's a Lord of the Rings one that's coming out next month, I guess, on Amazon Prime. Excuse me.
When does the new series Doctor Who start?
I'm still like I haven't watched that since this. Wow, I stopped it with the eyebrow guy because I didn't like him that much. Peter,
You didn't like Capaldi?
No.
Fuck you! Capaldi was awesome.
And I was going to start. I think I have them all downloaded. I was going to start watching it again with Girl Who, and I just never got around to
Jodie
it.
Whittaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Capaldi was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love Capaldi. There's a part where Capaldi rides it. They're doing a battle, and he rides in on a fucking Abrams tank playing an electric guitar.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's fucking fantastic. Oh, I was dying.
Yeah.
And plus, what's her name? Little girl from Game of Thrones.
Arya Stark.
Arya. Yeah, Arya Stark is in it.
Ariola Stark.
And I love Jenna Louise Coleman.
No, she's good. I was used to her playing Osgood, like a good character in Doctor Who, where when she was in Sandman as the Constantine plug. Did that come across? Did I see that? I'm assuming yes.
That was a fart, right?
Yep, yes, it was. On the chair. A little bit of both. There's definitely a fart in there somewhere.
Yes, we are still 12 years old.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I do know how to make you guys laugh. Action figure kissing and sharts.
I'll drink to that.
Yes. I also just watched the Sound of Her Wings episode of Sandman on Netflix, and that was really good. That's the death episode.
I got to catch up on that.
Yeah.
But speaking of
have you watched the Red Sandman at all, Tom?
No, I have not.
Oh, that was really good. It's a story about stories, but the main focus is there's these parts of existence that get anthropomorphized. They get humanized, anthropomorphic characters for them. So you got they're called the Endless. So you got Destiny was the first, and then you got Death, Dream, Despair, Desire, and Delirium. And the first arc is there's this cult that are trying to end or stop death. They're going to capture death so nobody has to die anymore. And they wind up capturing Dream instead. And Dream controls, of course, the dreaming world and stuff like that. But as it goes on, he gets out of it eventually, and he goes through this, this quest he has to do. And he's finishing his quest, and he's like, well, I just did this quest, and now I have like the most power I've had in a long time. I don't know what to do. So he's talking to his sister, Death. And Death just kind of walks him through a day in her life where she goes to people that are dying and helps them through it. She's like, take my hand, we're going to go whatever. And like, she's got a baby that's had crib death. She's had an old Jewish guy who kind of lost his faith, but before he dies, he's got to give this prayer that his father told him to do before he dies. And it goes into that. And it's just this, it's one of the greatest stories, that one comic or that one thing is just one of the greatest stories ever told. Because she's showing him that, we're not here for us, we're here for the people. Like, people are afraid of death. They shouldn't be. It's a relief. I'm here to help them through it. And it's that kind of thing.
Huh.
It's really good.
Yeah, sounds good.
And they're sticking relatively close to the comic, at least for that story. And then the next storyline, which they also did, they're cramming a lot into 11 episodes. But the next one involves serial killers at a cereal convention. Like they think it's for cereal like the food, but it's serial
No.
killer. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to check that out, huh?
And it's
Sandman's
Neil
great.
Gaiman.
Comics,
And
a definite, like, I would recommend it to even people who don't like comics, because it was one of those, like in the 80s, a pile of British people came over, kind of like how they did music in the 60s, and said, well, this is how you should tell stories. And they took away the superheroes and just did more story based comic telling.
Right.
Yeah. And Sandman's one of the things that came out of that.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. It was supposed to be on HBO, and HBO just shit the bed and decided that they couldn't make a movie. I think they're going to do it as a movie with, Jesus Christ, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was the guy that played young Bruce Willis in that movie, right?
yes.
Yeah. He was going to be the Sandman. He was going to helmet for a while, then he got too old, and it just kind of, for some reason, like I said, HBO just dropped it, and Netflix picked it up.
You know what? He probably would have been really good in the role. I mean, the guy that they got to play Dream was good.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I don't think they could have gone wrong with him either, though.
Audible did a radio drama of it, and it was James McAvoy as the voice of Dream, which was really good. And Kat Dennings did Death, and I do like the woman they had do Death, but Kat Dennings, I would have liked to see her do the role again, like reprise the role.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I'll sign up for anything that Kat Dennings is in.
And then I also would have liked to see Matt, whatever the hell that guy's name is, the guy who's been Constantine in like everything since they did a Constantine or Hellblazer TV series. He would have been good to do, but she was okay, Jenna Coleman. That's also where, if you've ever seen the Lucifer TV series, that was spun off of Sandman.
Okay.
The comic was, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
In Sandman, Lucifer, there's a storyline where he gives up hell. Like, it's like, I'm done hell. I don't want to be ruler here anymore. I'm just leaving. And he goes off to, apparently in the TV series, he solves mysteries. He doesn't do that in the comic. In the comic, he just does Satan-y stuff by himself.
Right.
Yeah, I watched the whole series, and when I found out that it was based on a DC book, which I found out through Legends of Tomorrow when Constantine showed up at I forget what the hell his place was called, but when I found out, I was like, oh shit, well I need to get on those books. And then I found out it's like, well, yeah, it's based on it, but nothing that happens in the show ever happened in the comic book. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Now, like, doesn't he opens up a bar?
Yeah, it's a piano bar.
Yeah, with that demon, and doesn't he like solve crimes?
Yeah, he has Mazikeen, who I guess is in the book.
She was, yeah.
So he and Mazikeen run the bar, and then he meets this detective, and he falls in love with the detective, and then it turns out that God got the detective's mother pregnant with her, and because the father was impotent, and they were praying for a kid, and then God came down to earth and immaculate conceptioned her, and then it was this whole big thing, and like all the different angels end up coming down. There's one, Amenadiel, is his brother, and he comes down, and originally he's there to hunt him down and bring him back to hell, but then he ends up turning to his side because he likes Earth too, and they all end up fucking this therapist. And well, first Lucifer fucks the therapist, and then Amenadiel fucks the therapist, and they fall in love and have a little mixed race baby. And then other angels come down, and they all end up liking their time on Earth, and then it's a big long story. But I really enjoyed it, especially after Netflix took over, because it was originally on Fox, and Fox canceled it because they're fucking stupid.
Gotcha.
But then when it went to Netflix and it was able to kind of, spread its wings, no pun intended, it was a lot better.
AMC did a Preacher series for a while too. I still haven't seen the last season of that, but Preacher is an angel and a demon have a child. The child is shot down to earth and kind of doesn't take over, but lives in the body of this preacher guy. And he's now got the word of God. Whatever he says, people listen to him and have to do. Like they can't fight the thing. And God finds this out and just leaves. So in the comic, it's them looking for God. Like, why did God abandon us? What's going on with this thing? And it's the preacher, his ex girlfriend, who's an assassin, and a vampire who was in the IRA, the Irish Republican Army.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TV series stayed relatively close. There's also this character called Arseface, who is this kid who, it took place in the 90s. So when what's his name shot himself in the head with a shotgun, Nirvana guy, Kurt Cobain.
Oh, Cobain.
Yeah, he decided to do the same thing, but he lived. But now his face is just, it looks like an asshole. Yeah. And his dad's the sheriff, and he hates him. And it's just the book again. The book was really good. The show was okay, but it's weird that we're seeing stuff like this just get TV shows. Seth Rogen was one of the producers on Preacher,
and he's one of the producers on The Boys too. He's actually been responsible for a lot of the good comic book stuff that we're seeing, like the lesser known, like Preacher, like The Boys, like Invincible. He's been responsible for Invincible too.
That was really good too. Yeah, he does one of the voices on there too.
Yeah,
the alien.
The alien. The one that he thinks that is supposed to be invading or whatever, and he has to fight him off, but it turns out he's
got Invincible's really good too. If you haven't watched that, Tom, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I'll have to have a laundry list of stuff that I might eventually get to.
What if Superman was evil? Is pretty much kind of, and he had a kid. The kid's not
okay.
Yeah. What if Superman was evil and had a kid, and the kid was like, "Yo, you're a dick."
Yeah. And the Boys, just the fact that they're doing the Boys and they're doing a lot of the sex stuff that was in the guy that wrote the Boys also wrote Preacher. And he wrote a couple of issues of Hellblazer. Garth Ennis is he's awesome. He's a Scottish guy. I've actually seen him at a couple of conventions. He hates superheroes. So whenever he does a superhero book, it's the Boys. It's him tearing apart superheroes and showing them to be dicks. Like, if somebody has all this power, they're going to become an asshole with it, kind of a thing.
I liked
Wanted. The original story, the original comic for Wanted was almost like a The Boys thing. It was, if you ever saw the movie, it was, oh, my dad's an assassin and now I get assassin powers. But the comic book was all the super villains said, hey, there's way more of us than there are the superheroes. If we team up, we can stop them. And they do. They wind up teaming up and killing all the superheroes. So that Assassin League is actually all the supervillains just ruling the world now.
Oh, no shit. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the kid finds out that he's one of the, my dad was a supervillain kind of thing. It was good.
Did you ever read the Old Man Logan story? I would love to see them, and they alluded to it kind of in a roundabout way, but they also made it look like it was Professor X's fault. Yeah. I'd really like to see an X-Men story on the screen made like that. And Tom, so I'm assuming you probably don't know, but what they do is there's this future storyline where all the villains teamed up together instead of kind of like Richie was saying with Wanted, where they're like, you know what, we're so stupid. If we all just work together and we do this, we strategically, divide and conquer, we can take out the heroes. Mm-hmm. And so what they do is they actually do that. They all divide it up, and they end up taking over. Well, the way they get the X-Men is, Mysterio.
Right.
So they send Mysterio to the X Mansion, and they have him disguise all of the X-Men as villains.
Yeah.
And so he tricks Wolverine into thinking that the villains are all attacking and killing the X-Men, and he goes on a berserker rage and just kills everybody. And then after he's killed everybody, Mysterio basically shows himself. He's like, "Wow, that was easy," and it drives him insane. And he tries to kill himself, and he can't kill himself, obviously.
It's,
So then he,
have you ever seen Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood?
Yes.
It starts out as Unforgiven. Wolverine's on this ranch in the West, and he's a pacifist now, and he has a family, but the family's like the farm's not doing good or somebody's dying or whatever. So Hawkeye comes and says, "I got this way for us to get money, but I need Wolverine back." And he's like, "Well, I guess I got to become Wolverine again." Kind of.
well, no. That's not what that. He tries that first, but then the Hulks. So, this is the other part. This is super fucked up. So, the Hulk, Bruce Banner ends up getting exposed to too much radiation, too much gamma radiation, and so does Jen Walter, She-Hulk, and they end up losing their minds and they become incestuous. And they have a bunch of incest Hulk babies. And the incest Hulk babies run an entire territory of the United States. And so the incest Hulk babies are like the landlord where Wolverine lives, and they kill his wife and kids.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And then that's when he decides to join Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye, mind you, driving Spider-Man's Spider Buggy, which he got from Spider-Man's daughter, who was, I forget, who did Spider-Man have his daughter with? Because she's half black.
But Hawkeye's also blind.
Yeah, and Hawkeye's blind too. Yes. So, and if you follow like comics, so essentially Hawkeye's deaf and blind. So he's essentially Hawk and Keller because he's, he can't see and he can't hear, but I guess he has a hearing aid in this. So he can still hear, but that's how he shoots and that's how he drives. But it's like, and then so Red Skull has taken over America too, by the way. And he goes to confront Wolverine and he uses Captain America's shield and he's got Captain America's costume on.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. But he's all like emaciated and like really skeleton like. So it's fucking bizarre. Cool. But it's a really good story. And of course they ended up ruining it by making it like in an alternate reality. And then when Wolverine died, instead of like Wolverine being dead and like his daughter taking up the mantle, they had Wolverine. Old Man Logan came from his dimension, and then there was his daughter X-23 was the new Wolverine, and then there was Sabretooth was a Wolverine, and everybody was a Wolverine.
And Draken.
Dakin, whatever the fuck. Who his power was weird because he had two claws on the top, and he had a claw that came out of his wrist, and he had pheromone powers, so he could just make anybody obey his will, and mostly he used it to fuck people. Like, and he was indiscriminate. He was indiscriminate with who he fucked. Male, female, might have been a horse in there. Like, he was like, if it moves and has genitals, I want to suck it or fuck it.
Well, I think that's a good place to stop us. What do you think?
Sucking and fucking?
And that's it.
Yeah, I think so. And so make sure, kids, that you're checking us out on the YouTube, where you can see a video of Richie making action figures kiss and singing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle song and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and all kinds of stuff. Go to the Facebook page, go to the Twitter page, go to noisebrigadepod.com, go to harambepox.com, Harley Quinn Smith 8myballs.com, bigbeefyshootyboys.com, alwaysbechupacabra.com, chupacabrafordicks.com, do you like bears.com, and what am I missing? Is that all of them?
I think so. Double Wide Coffin?
Doublewidecoffin.com. Yeah, don't forget about doublewidecoffin.com. Incidentally, that's probably where you're going to find Richie and Harley Quinn Smith when they die and get buried together.